No means of getting money can one find without sacrifice. Welcome to section 10 of the Holy Quran, section 10 of chapter 17 of the Holy Quran. We're going to Psalm 85. Namshi. وَيَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنِ الرُّوحِ قُلْ أَرُوحِ مِنْ أَمْرِ رَبِّي. They ask thee concerning the Spirit. Say, the Spirit is of the command of my Lord. وَمَا أُتِيتُمْ مِنَ الْعِلْمِ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا. Of knowledge, it is only a little that is communicated to you, O man. In brackets, O man. So God is telling Muhammad to tell mankind this. Good. Commentary 2285. What is the nature of inspiration? First question. Who brings it? Second question. Can it ask the bringer questions? Can it ask the bringer questions? Third question. Can we ask anything which we wish? Fourth question. These are the sort of questions always asked when inspiration is called in question. When inspiration is called in question, not a fourth question or not a fifth question. Full stop. The answer is given here. Inspiration is one of those high experiences which cannot be explained in the terms of our everyday human experience. It is spiritual. The spirit, into brackets Gabriel, does not come of his own will. He comes by the command of God and reveals what God commands him to reveal. Of the sum total of the divine knowledge, what a small part it is that ordinary mortals can understand. They can be only given that which they can understand, however dimly. dimly. Full stop. We are not in position to ask anything that we wish. It is, if we did so, it would only make us look foolish. For the guidance comes from God's wisdom and not from our worldly knowledge. So when we talk of spirit or the Holy Spirit, we normally refer to the angel Gabriel. It is he who conveys glad tidings to mankind, and no man can control it. Hmm? I will compare it to dreams. They are in the same line. Hmm? You lie down, you sleep, then all of a sudden you dream about something. You don't choose what to dream before you sleep, do you? Or we don't. Let's say we don't uh, ask what to dream before we sleep. It just comes like that. And so, in the same vein, comes spiritual inspiration. You are there, all of a sudden, God inspires you with something, not by your wisdom. You start it and then you gain something from it. It's the same way that the spirit acts, that the spirit operates, if you like. Fine. Now we go to sign 86. Wala 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 in shit wala in shitina lannas habanna billazi awhayna ilayka. If it were our will, we could take away that which we have sent thee by inspiration. Thee here refers to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. ثم لا تجد لك به علينا وكيلا. ثم لا تجد لك به علينا وكيلا. Then wouldst thou find none to plead thy affair to plead thy affair in that affair in that matter as against us. Alena. Commentary 2286 is against what? Yeah, by inspiration. 2286. Even the spiritual knowledge that comes to us comes because of the favor of and mercy of God. Comes to us because of the favor and mercy of God. If he were to withhold it, who can call him in question? If he were to withhold a dream from you, who would call him in question? Nobody. Even you will even know that he has withheld some dreams from you. And indeed, God has withheld many dreams from some of us, but we don't know. That is it. So 2286 to sign 86. To sign 86. We're now going to sign 87. Sign 87 is actually part of sign 86, except that it has been divided for a reason I don't know, but the elders know. And what does it say? Illa rahmatan min Arabica. Illa rahmatan min Arabica. Except for mercy from thy Lord. That he doesn't withhold inspiration from thee, Muhammad. It is by his mercy, by the mercy of the Lord, of Muhammad's Lord, or our Lord, that God doesn't withhold inspiration from us, from him and from us. Inna fadlahu kana alayka kabiran. Inna fadlahu kana alayka kabiran. Alayka, alayhu, alay Muhammad. For his bounty, God's bounty, for his bounty is to thee, Muhammad, indeed great. Indeed is in brackets. For his bounty to thee, indeed, for his bounty is to thee indeed great. Where is it? Here. Inna fadlahu kana alayka kabiran. Kabiran. Great. Kabiran. Great. Commentary 2287. 2287. In that case, the only one who can plead for us is the mercy of God. We can interpret the phrase in its widest abstract sense, as well as the concrete sense of the title, which is applied to the Holy Prophet Muhammad, the mercy of God. Full stop. Thus, we come from the abstract question to the concrete question of the Quran, which is referred to by name in the verses that follow. And which are the verses? That's 88 going. Okay. And that was sign 228. That was comment to 287 to sign 87. Now we go to sign 88. Kul la'in ishtamatu. Kul la'in ishtamatu al-insan wal-jinnu al-insan wal-jinnu ala an yatu bimithli hadha al-Qur'an la yatuna bimithlihi Say, if the whole of mankind and genes, there is commentary to the word genes. Say, if the whole of mankind and genes were to gather together to produce this like of the Quran, they could not produce the like thereof. Mm. Quran لا يأتو به لا يأتون بمثله of this thereof. ولو كان بعدهم لبعض ظهيرا ولو كان بعضهم لبعض ظهيرا. Mm. Uh, Even if they backed up each other with help and support, Zahiran, help and support, Zahiran, help and support. Mm. Uh, where is it? ولو كان, yes, ولو كان بعضهم لبعض ظهيرا. Mm. Even if they backed up each other with help and support. We go to sign commentary 2289. Commentary 2289. The proof of the Quran is in its own beauty and nature, and the circumstances in which it was promulgated. And the circumstances in which it was promulgated. Mm? Full stop. The world is challenged to produce a book like it and has not produced one and can never produce one. My own can never produce one. Full stop. It is the only revealed book whose text stands pure and uncorrupted, stands pure and uncorrupted today. Compare for a greater challenge, chapter 2, 23. Chapter 4, chapter 2, 23, that's II 23. Chapter 10, 18, that's X 18. And chapter 11, 13. We're asked to make comparison with these chapters. So viewers, we may have to go back to my previous videos. Just go back, relax, and then read them. And that was commentary 2288 to sign 88. Mm. We now go to sign 89. ولقد صرفنا للناس في هذا القرآن من كل مثل. And we have explained to man, l'insan, in this Quran, لهذا القرآن, every kind of similitude, من كل مثل, من كل مثلا, every kind of similitude, من كل مثلا. فأبى أكثر الناس إلا كفورا. فأبى أكثر الناس إلا كفورا. Yet the greater part of men, أكثر الناس, refuse, أبى, and they refuse into brackets to receive it, refuse to receive it into brackets, أبى, except with ingratitude, إلا كفورا. We go to commentary 2290. Commentary 2290. In the Quran, everything is explained in detail from various points of view by commands, similitudes, examples, stories, parables, etc. It does not merely narrate stories or lay down vague, abstract propositions, full stop. It gives every detailed help in outward and inner life, full stop. And that was commentary 2290 to sign 89. There is a second commentary, that's 91, and it's against the word ingratitude, 2291. One form in which it can be received with ingratitude is to pay virtual tributes to it, but not study it as it ought to be studied. Hmm? Hakatila what he hakan tila what he as it ought to be studied. Hakan tila what he as it ought to be studied. Please, that's my own insertion. It's there somewhere in the Quran. Okay. We are even directed there. Compare chapter 2, verse 121 or ayah 2, which is Haka tila what he, Hakan tila what he, as it should be read, or to disobey its precepts or standards. That's one form of ingratitude. That's one form of ingratitude. Pardon me, viewers. That is one form of ingratitude that has been talked about. And that was commented 2291. We're now going to sign 89. We're now going to sign 90. We're now going to sign 90. And what does it say? Wakalu lan nomina laka hata taf hata taf jura lana minal ardi yung bu an, pardon me. They say, we shall not believe in thee. Lantomina laka, we shall not believe in thee until thou cause a split. And until thou cause a spring to gush forth for us from the earth. Can you imagine? So there and then Muhammad should command a spring, water, to come, like Ismail did, alayhi salam. And who again? I think Job also. Okay, let's use Ismail first. So this is what he told Muhammad, the Prophet of Islam, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Tuf jura lana min al ardi yumbu an, spring, a spring, yumbu an, a spring. We go to commentary 2290 against spring gushing from the earth. 2292. And it says, compare chapter 2, sign 60. That's all. Now we go to sign 91. Sign 91. أو تكون لك جنات من النخيل وأعناب, or into brackets until, or into brackets until, or into brackets until thou have a garden of date trees and vines. Nahilan wa arnab, date trees and vines. Nahilan wa arnab. فتفجر الأنهار هلالها تفجيرا gate and garden of date trees and vines, and cause rivers al-Anhari to gush forth in their midst, carrying abundant water, or and cause rivers to gush forth in their midst, carrying abundant water. Mm. فَتُفَجِّرَ الْأَنْهَارِ هِلَالَهَا تَفْجِيرًا. Commentary 2293. This all assorted and crude jumble of sort of miracles which the unbelievers wanted is is in very appropriate contrast to the sober and seasonal argument which has begun in the last sentence of verse 93 or sign 93, which we haven't gotten to yet, uh, and continued in sections 11 and 12, and continued in sections 11 and 12, which close this surah. Yes, I think we did this. Okay. It is throughout reminiscent of the materialistic imagination of Jewish skeptics, which was mainly responsible for the fall of the Jewish nation. See verse 104 below. What led to the fall of the Jewish nation? See verse 104 below. We shall get there, inshallah. Uh, for a thirsty people sojourning, for a thirsty people sojourning in a day, sojourning, for a thirsty people sojourning in a dry land, for the thirsty people sojourning in a dry land, uh, the finding of a spring of water is in the story of Moses, or of the well, or of the well of Zamzam. I see water was scarce in those days, and even up to today in the desert area. Or the water of Zamzam is an appropriate miracle. Yes, I think I mentioned it. Ismail. Mm, mm. Okay, but miracles are not for faithless crowds to give to give to give at GAPE. Miracles are not for faithless crowds to give at. A beautiful, well-watered garden is a symbol of felicity, but a septic cannot order God to produce it for his pleasure. That's ma utitu min ilmi illa qalilan. Yas'alunaka an aruhi min amri rabbi. It's only by the command of God and not by man's pleasure. Order of God to produce it for his pleasure. Full stop. The same may be said about, I'm missing a line. Yeah, the same may be said about a house adorned with gold, except that its symbolism is even more materialistic. Except that its symbolism is even more materialistic. The fall of the sky or producing God the fall of the sky, or producing God face to face, or climbing to the skies by a ladder, or climbing to the skies by a ladder, or bringing bringing down a book a book of parchment which men could handle, are all irrelevant suggestions. Are all irrelevant suggestions that make an that make no distinction between spiritual and material things. Pardon me, viewers. Sometimes I have problems with my sight. Mm. Uh, that make no distinction between spiritual and material suggestions. And that was coming to 2293 to sign 91. Now we go to sign 92. A continuation of the foolish demands of the unbelievers, the Israelis, I believe. Mhm. Specifically, the Israelis, I believe. Uh, uh, Watuskita asamai kama zamata kama zamat alina kisafan, or thou cause the sky to fall in pieces as thou sayest, into brackets, will happen against us. Alina. Mm. Wa tuskita, make to fall. Tuskita, make to fall. Or thou cause to fall. Or thou cause the sky to fall. Tuskita, asamai, zaamta, kama zaamta alina. Kama zaamta alina. Kisafan. To fall as thou sayest will happen against us. Uh, Our ta'ati our ta'ati billahi wal malaikati kabilan, kabilan. Uh, or thou bring God and the angels before us, face to face, face to face. Well, the commentary came before the sign in this case. We've read the commentary already, but there is still another commentary in two parts. Or bring angels before us. How Tati bihi, between as the S is in brackets, or Tati bihi, or bring angels before, face to face. Kabilan. Now we go to sign 2294. We go to sign 2294. Sign 2294. What does it say? It's against carrying abundant water, causing rivers to gush. 2294. Contrast, contrast the sublime passages oh, sorry, contrast the sublime passages like the beginning, like the beginning, with sign X, with sign IXXX sign IXXS II. Mm, I I think that will be 82, sign 82, or chapter 82, sign 1, 82, chapter 1, I believe. Or that in XXV 25, sign 25, 25, sign 25, where the final breaking up of the firmaments as we know them is referred to in the world's catastrophe with a ridiculous demand that it should be done for the sports of the septics. So the septics cannot command Muhammad to uh, produce miracles. Let's see if I was right. Let's see. Let's go to Psalm 82:1 and see if that is it. Psalm 82:1. Chapter 82:1. Chapter 82. Yeah, that's it. Chapter 82. When the sky is cleft asunder, yes. What is a samai in fatarat? So that's it. IXXX II is it LXXXL? II is 82. Confirmed. And that was signed. That was comment to 2294 to sign 92. We now go to sign 93. أو أو يكون لك بيت من الزهروف و- وي- أو يكون لك بيت من الزهروف or thou have a home adorned with gold بيت house من الزوف boat uh, بيت من الزهروف a house adorned with gold أو تركة أو أو تركة في السماء أو تركة في السماء uh, or thou mount a ladder أو تركة في السماء well, or thou mount a ladder right into the sky أو تركة في السماء or thou mount a ladder right to the skies. ولا نؤمن ولا نؤمن ولا نؤمن بركيك ولا نؤمن لركيك حتى تزل علينا كتابا نكروها no no sorry no comma we shall not even believe in thy mountain we shall not even believe in thou mountain until thou send down to us a book that we can read. Nakruhu, that we can read. Wala nomina lirukika. Lirukibika, I think so. Lirukibika, hata tunzila alena kitaban nakruhu, until you send down a book that we can read. Send down a book that we can read. Nakruhu, that we can read. Kul, Subhana Rabbi, قل سبحان ربي هل هل كنت إلا بشرا رسولا. Mm. Say, glory be to my Lord. Am I, and I ought but a man, a messenger. Kul subhana rabbi hal kuntu illa bashrun rasulan. So God is telling Muhammad to say, glory be to my Lord, and I ought but a man, a messenger. God is telling Muhammad to tell the unbelievers, I am nothing but a messenger of God, Rasulan. Mm. Commentary 2297. Commentary 2297 and 2298. Two in one for sign 93. 2297. Compare chapter 6, sign 7 for the foolish idea of materialistic skeptics, that a spiritual revelation could come down from the heavens on a piece of parchment that they can touch. In other words, a revelation, a whole book, not one that is not seen, only read to him for him to relate to scribes to write. No, they are not satisfied with that. God should send down a whole book like this, mm, a whole book like this for them to see. Mm. Uh, and that's coming to 2297. Now 2298. A prophet, a messenger of God, is a man at the command of God, and not is a, a messenger of God is a man at the command of God, and not to satisfy the disingenuous whims and fancies of unbelievers. So that's why God said, tell them, I am only a man like you. Period. A messenger of God, for that matter. Mm. Okay. Miracles greater than any that their foolish fancies could devise were before him, were before them, sorry, but they wouldn't see. So the miracles were there for them to see, but they wouldn't see. Mm. Like and for us too, as today, and still some of us can't see those miracles, or we don't want to perceive them. Mm. The Quran was such a miracle, yes, and it is a standing miracle that lasts through the ages. In fact, the Quran is even a better miracle than sending a book, because a magician can send a book to them, but this one is word by word by word by word. But still, just because they want to be argumentative, mm, uh, that lasts throughout the ages. Why did they not believe? The commentator is asking, why did they not believe? The real reason was spite and jealousy, like that of Iblis. See next verse. And next verse is Psalm 94, section 11. We shall get there in our next video, God willing. Actually, I'm lost. I don't know if I've done this before. If I've done it before, please pardon me. Mm? If we haven't, good enough. So in our next video, we shall go to section 11 of chapter 17 of the Holy Quran. And section 11 begins with Psalm 94. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Au revoir. May God bless you all.